that what claiming your space, your peace, and your pace feels like. Now let's talk about how to get more of it. I used to believe the biggest lie in the industry, in the business, that you need to take massive action to succeed. So I did. I took massive action. I'm one of those people who can totally take massive action, aren't you? Like, are you not doing everything you can? Are you not going all in? Have you not bought courses and programs? And have you not worked evenings, weekends? I did for years. I was juggling crazy things. I was raising my baby. I was working from my kitchen. I was watching training videos as I cooked dinner for my family. And I remember I had to pause the videos every 10 seconds because I couldn't hear anything because of my daughter. I burned the counters, dragging overflowing pots from the cooker straight on the countertop. I did take massive action. And yet, success felt like a big slog, isn't it? Is it something similar for you? So here is the deal. When you know that only 15% of all the millionaires are women, you have to ask, is it me? Or what is going on? So I remember I was watching docu-series on Netflix called Live to Lead. And the very first episode was about this woman called Ruth Ginsburg. She was American. She lived in the States. And she was the first woman appointed to the Supreme Court. She was a lawyer. And she was a huge activist for women's rights. Because as you know, equal rights is quite a new thing, right? You might know that not that long ago, like in the 70s, women couldn't have their own bank accounts. Or if they did, they had a male to grant them permission to access the bank account. Isn't that crazy? And here's the part that made me see everything very differently and made me see the actual problem, why women are struggling, why I was slogging. Even though I was mastering a strategy after strategy after strategy, I became good enough to join world-class marketing coaching teams. But it was hard and it was very slow. So I am watching this docu series and the first episode, and the moment when they were showing how Ruth Ginsburg was appointed by Clinton to the Supreme Court, I can feel a wave of deep, deep sadness washing over me. And then my mind caught up in a few moments. And I was like, oh my God, equal rights was just the beginning. What is going on behind the closed doors is a completely different story for many, many women. And then I saw it. I saw that even women that are trying to change their life, that are trying to create life on their terms, and very often not because they just want to, very often because they have to, because the life they are living is shit. And what they are seeing, they are modeling for their children is shit. So they're doing everything to change it. Many women can't even go to a job. They can't have a job because they have to be there at home with the kids, running the house, running the family. Many women don't even have the conditions to have a job. So they are trying to do something from home. However, and you know the reality. You probably know the reality. When you are juggling, when you are spinning multiple plates, when you work weekends and evening because simply there is no other time. And you, even when you sit at your laptop and work, your head is empty, you are overloaded, your cognitive capacity has shrunk. And just because you are looking like working doesn't mean you are working properly. I remember the times when working on my business meant doing something, typing, being in meetings, even if I wasn't really producing much. But I was working. But the question is, how long can you last that way? And that's not the only thing. What about all the sicknesses of your kids? What about school holidays? What about family visits? What about anything unexpected? Because you are working from home, most likely everybody is giving you a lot of stuff to do. So very often you simply do not have capacity physically or mentally for your business. So that realization was huge. But then here is what came next. And obviously, that realization helped me, kicked me in the ass, basically, and really helped me reconsider how I was running my business and really forced me to start changing everything for real. Because I realized I have no option but to review everything that I'm doing, how I do things. And then I'm listening to an interview with Sarah Blake, the founder of Spanx, and she says that when she started her business, shoe business, she looked around and she realized that heels were made by men, and men don't wear heels. And I'm like, oh, are you joking me? That kickstarted something interesting. I started looking into the industry, into the business industry, into the strategies to see who shaped the industry. And it didn't take long. As a marketing pro, I saw it straight away. And I went through all the things that I had been doing, through all the strategies I had been playing, and I saw it. I saw it. The industry was shaped by men. By men. The strategies were shaped by men. And men are not carrying the same load at home 24/7 as you do. They aren't. They're not even considering that kids can get sick. Well, exceptions exist. But in many cases, it's women. I guess you know the saying that behind every successful man is a great woman. What does that say? What does this saying tell you? You know? So it's men who shaped the industry. When I was digging in the numbers, I found interesting things like women are carrying 2 to 3 more times of domestic labor. Women are mostly working from home. It's usually the women. And what happens at home? Chaos, interruptions, constant interruptions, constant running around, grabbing this thing, that thing, on the way to that room. Then you forget what you were going to that room for. And men, I'm watching this. I can't remember the name of this billionaire, but I'm watching this interview with him. And he is saying, he's telling how he took a year off from his family, moved cross country to focus on his business, and his wife and the kids stayed at home. Then another successful guy is telling about how he every now and then he takes a cabin break to focus on his business, to contemplate and focus on his business. Show me a woman with kids, with a family who can afford that. For the longest time ever, I struggled to get out on a business trip to go to a mastermind. And when I finally did, I couldn't believe it. I had to punch myself. I remember I was sitting on the plane from Ireland to the States, and I wasn't even turning the screen on. I was just staring at the blank screen, enjoying the moment. And it was 10 a.m., I remember, and I was debating with myself whether I should or shouldn't have a glass of wine for breakfast. That was so huge. So the bottom line is that I don't know if you can afford consistency. Can you? Life keeps happening. You build up momentum for a while, and then something happens and the kids get sick and the family arrives and this and that. So consistent sounds good. Taking massive action makes sense. But the reality, your raw, real reality, is something that you can't escape. And I'll talk about this more in future episodes. But the point is that linear strategies are very, very hard to fit in your life. You need lateral strategies that allow you to create results during the times when you focus, when you can work on your business in bursts, probably. They can generate crazy results, enough results that will carry you during the times when you can't work. I mean, really need to allow yourself to recognize and accept your reality and start thinking of different ways of doing things. Different ways exist. I remember a few years ago, I was limiting myself on purpose to only 2 hours a day so that I can see or filter out things that are not that important and that are not moving the needle for me. And you know what? It was great. The business didn't suffer because of that. And I know you probably already hear the whispers. Are you saying that you're looking for easy? Are you looking for excuses? Are you saying that you're gonna let your circumstances control you and your business? And you're not gonna control your circumstances and you're not gonna get over it and do it anyway? But let me ask you this, especially if you have a family, but very often, even if you don't, is it really possible that you're looking for easy? A woman with kids, with family, a woman who is carrying all the four corners, who's looking after everyone except herself? Like, the advice, do more. I remember my coach was telling me that, do more, but more was not available. I didn't know that back then. I didn't realize that back then. But more was not available. And I was blaming myself. I was trying to fix something about myself. Reshma Soyani said she she was she created and ran the movement called Girls Who Code to help, I guess, to raise awareness of for girls about getting into technology and IT and that they can. So she said, fix the system, not girls. Well, I would like to add, it's the model, not you. And the model needs to change. It's the old playbook that you don't want to play along anymore. What the model is about, I will talk about the model in the following videos. One thing that I can say now is, the way, well, I guess the 80-20 rule. I remember when I first started on my business, I used to wonder, oh, that sounds good. 20% of effort create 80% of the results. And was like, wow, that sounds really cool. But the question is, what is the 20%? For quite a while, I didn't know. I could not pinpoint, and somehow nobody was able to explain. I have books here actually about it, and I still didn't get it. I read the books and I still did not get it. So that model I'm talking about is actually pretty much around along those lines. It's the 20% or even better. Because the real answer is how to reduce the moves in your business and increase the power of each move. You can't afford more moves. More moves is not gonna get you any further. You will keep hitting the wall. Taking massive action, you've done that. You have done that. It's about multiplying the power of each move. And it comes down to very simple marketing principles that most people don't know about. The reason why they don't, it's because this industry is overpowered by the grind mentality. And nobody is even considering that instead of grinding, create leverage. I like saying not labor, leverage. So that is that. And if you are in the place where it feels heavy, where you feel that you're hitting the wall, you've been hitting a wall for a while now, and quitting is not an option for you, for one reason or another, you have to make it work. Well, I'll drop a link in the description so you can find me. Claim the peace.